Spoiler alert. When Orion Pax and D16 first joined to be miners, they became friends immediately. Both new to the job, they promised to watch each other's back, and their friendship only grew from there. D16 is content with his job, but Orion Pax has a curious mind. He dreams of the day when Cybertron can replenish itself once again. And the only way for that to happen is to find the lost matrix of leadership. Orion, the cogless miner bot, once again sneaks into the archive facility to look for answers. Carefully maneuvering through the security lasers, he discovers a recording he has never seen before. But the glitchy video alerts a security bot. Orion cleans it and tries again, and this time it plays. The recording tells of Cybertron's creation by Primus, the rise of the first primes, and the power of the matrix of leadership. But Orion already knows this history. He searches for clues about the matrix's last known location, yet the recording ends abruptly, revealing only that it has been lost. His frustration is interrupted when the security bot catches sight of him. Moments later, two guards join in, charging after him. When the guards nearly capture Orion, his best friend, D16, steps in and distracts them, allowing Orion to escape. Later, D16 advises him to trust Sentinel Prime, saying that he will eventually find the Matrix. But Orion disagrees, explaining that he wants to help Sentinel and will do whatever it takes to trace the Matrix's last known location. He then gives D16 a rare decal of Megatronus Prime, knowing how much his friend idolizes the legendary Prime. D16 appreciates the gift. The train carries the workers to the mining station. Ever since the Matrix was lost, the Cybertronians have relied on energon mining to fuel their world. Alita 1 has led her team with skill, and her efficiency has earned her the promise of promotion. But fate has other plans. A sudden cave-in traps Jazz deep inside the mine. Following strict protocol, Alita 1 orders a full evacuation. Yet Orion and D16 defy orders, staying behind to save their fellow miner. When the dust settles, their merciless supervisor Darkwing blames Alita 1 for the disaster, stripping her of her position and banishing her to the waste management area. Orion admits it was his fault for disobeying orders, but Darkwing does not care. D16 restrains Orion from provoking Darkwing and ends up taking the hit meant for him. Sentinel Prime soon returns from the surface after searching for the lost matrix of leadership. Once again, he admits his mission has failed. To lift everyone's spirits, he gives them a full day off to witness the greatest event in Iacon, the high-speed, citywide race known as the Iacon 5000. The crowd celebrates with joy. D16 can hardly wait to see the race, but Orion Pax has something unexpected in mind. He takes D16 to a spot with a breathtaking view, leaving him amazed and grateful. As the final countdown echoes across the city, Orion reveals his true plan. He equips them both with jetpacks as they are entering the race as well. D16 can hardly believe what Orion has dragged him into, but the excitement gets to him, and he eventually goes along. No cogless bot had entered the race before, and the miners cheer loudly for the two of them. Working side by side, Orion and D16 clear obstacle after obstacle and even take the lead for a short while. But when D16 is injured, Orion chooses not to finish without him. By helping his friend, they lose the race, but their actions lift the spirits of all the cogless bots. After the race, Sentinel Prime pays the two a surprise visit. He commends Orion and D16 for raising morale among the miners and promises to reward them before leaving on his expedition. But an enraged Darkwing drags them instead to Sub-Level 50, a garbage incineration plant. There, they discover B-127, the only Cybertronian assigned to this hidden level. B-127, who proudly calls himself
Badassatron,
is surprisingly cheerful and full of energy despite being alone in Sub-Level 50. He eagerly introduces Orion and D16 to his friends. One of them, a bot he calls Steve, suddenly gives off a glitchy sound. Orion investigates, and in the process accidentally breaks Steve, revealing a hidden chip. Inside is a distress signal from Alpha Trion, one of the ancient primes. The message shows Alpha Trion calling for urgent help from the High Guard as he shares his coordinates. He also warns that the Matrix must be kept safe at all costs. Orion realizes that the recording must be the final message sent before the Primes were killed in the Quintesson War. He suggests they go to the surface to find it, but D16 refuses. D16 says he is happy being a miner and that following Orion has only caused him problems. Orion insists that this could lead them to the matrix of leadership, and if they deliver it to Sentinel Prime, he would be truly grateful. After some hesitation, D16 finally agrees, and B happily joins the quest too. B guides them through the garbage ducts into the waste management section. Their plan is to sneak onto the train that dumps garbage onto the surface. But Alita 1 notices the open vent and decides to catch whoever did it, hoping it will help her earn a promotion. Before she can act, her old mining crew ambushes her to stop her from reporting them. When she finally breaks free and makes it outside, the train has already reached the surface. Everyone stands in stunned silence as they witness the desolate surface of Cybertron for the first time. Orion then tells Alita 1 why they are there. She shakes her head and refuses to join them, saying his plans will only bring ruin and demotion. Before the argument can continue, D16 shouts a warning. Shards of the mountain are crashing down, smashing the trains behind them. The group scrambles to escape, but the destruction catches up too quickly, tossing them off the trains. Stranded in this desolate place, Alita 1 finally agrees to join them and takes command of the mission. Not long after, a huge Quintesson ship appears, scanning the area for life to destroy. The group runs for cover, but Orion realizes escape is impossible. He clutches B, desperately pulling him under the metal ruin above for cover. The group can hardly believe the Quintessons still haunt Cybertron, but they continue onward. At last, they reach the location, only to be horrified by the sight before them. The ground is covered with the fallen corpses of the Primes. D16 is shaken to his core, devastated to see the ruined body of his greatest hero. Orion spots a faint signal still pulsing from Alpha Trion. Using Energon, they manage to reactivate him. When Alpha Trion awakens, he reveals a terrible truth. Sentinel was never a Prime, only an aide. He deceived the Primes with false intelligence about a secret meeting of the Quintesson commanders. Trusting his word, the Primes came to strike, but were ambushed instead. Though vastly outnumbered, the Primes held their ground with unmatched courage, until Sentinel struck them down, one by one. He betrayed them for the Matrix, only for it to vanish when Primus judged him unworthy. D16 refuses to accept Alpha Trion's story. Sentinel is their beloved leader. A loud rumble cuts their discussion short. When they step outside to investigate, they see Sentinel and his guards meeting with the Quintesson High Commander. To their shock, Sentinel kneels before him. The Energon they risk their lives every day to dig is being transported to the Quintesson's ship. Alpha Trion concludes that Sentinel has been supplying Energon to the Quintessons, in exchange for being allowed to rule Cybertron. This also explains why some bots are born without cogs. Sentinel has them removed before activation, turning them into mere miners. D16 finally lets his rage spill out, vowing to bring Sentinel to justice. Yet his anger soon turns to despair, for he knows they are only cogless miners, powerless against a deceiving tyrant. Alpha Trion comforts them. He says that cogs do not define who they are, but the spark inside their core does. He believes each of them carries great strength to change their world. With resolve, Alpha Trion bestows upon the group the fallen Prime's cogs, granting them the ability to transform. Their celebration is cut short when Sentinel's guards detect their presence. Alpha Trion entrusts them with a data chip containing proof of Sentinel's treason and tells them to head back to their city while he holds the guards off. The group fumbles at first, struggling to master the art of transformation. But as Sentinel's guards push harder, the desperation ignites something inside them. One by one, they change at last. Orion becoming a red and blue truck built for endurance, D16 turning into a powerful tank, B127 shifting into a nimble yellow car, and Elita 1 transforming into a swift pink motorcycle. Alpha Trion is seized and dragged before Sentinel, who demands to know about the company he protects. Calm but unyielding, Trion warns that they will be Sentinel's undoing. Enraged, Sentinel cuts him down on the spot, then orders his lieutenant Arachnid to hunt the others immediately. Evading their pursuers, the team looks for a way back to Iacon, but they are intercepted and captured by the High Guard. Starscream, their leader, reveals that the Guard witnessed Sentinel's betrayal themselves and have secretly fought against him ever since. Following Sentinel's betrayal, D-16 vows never to follow another leader again. His defiance erupts into a fight with Starscream, and in his rage, his arm transforms into a powerful cannon for the very first time. The sight shocks everyone. But instead of fear, the High Guard recognizes his strength and rallies behind him. Yet before any alliance can take shape, Arachnid arrives with Sentinel's forces. In the battle that follows, D-16, B, Starscream, and half of the Guard are captured. In the aftermath of the battle, Orion finds that the evidence chip has been destroyed. At last, he accepts what D-16 and Elita 1 had been telling him all along. Wherever he goes, disaster follows. But Elita 1 refuses to let him give in to despair. She reminds him that what makes him different from others is his hope. Hope and optimism give him the courage to make bold choices when no one else will. If he wants to see D-16 and B again, he must inspire others as well. Encouraged by her words, Orion rallies the remaining High Guard members and leads them back to Iacon to rescue their captured comrades. At Sentinel's base, D-16 once again refuses to kneel, just as he had with Starscream. Sentinel grows furious and beats him down. When his gaze falls on the decal on D-16's arm, Sentinel smirks. He reveals the cruel truth. Sentinel's cog has been replaced with one belonging to Megatronus Prime, the very figure D-16 revered. Sentinel then brands D-16 with the face of his idol. Meanwhile, Darkwing pushes the workers past their breaking point, demanding they return to the tunnels even after a 22-hour shift. Out of nowhere, Orion steps in and takes Darkwing out with a swift blow. He turns to the exhausted miners and tells them the truth of Sentinel's betrayal. He urges them to rise up in revolt as he repeats Alpha Trion's words of wisdom. It is not the cog on your chest, but the spark within your core that defines you. The words strike deep. The miners' despair transforms into hope, and together they roar Orion's name in unison. The sky fills with fire as miners armed with jetpacks join Elita 1 and the High Guard in their raid. They storm Sentinel's base just in time to stop him from executing D-16. Freed at last, D-16 hunts Sentinel with fury, unwilling to listen to Orion's voice of reason. Sentinel answers them with pure devastation, forcing the group into retreat. In the chaos, Arachnid seizes Elita 1. As the two battle it out, Orion urges Elita to lure Arachnid toward the broadcasting station. Meanwhile, D-16 finally faces Sentinel one-on-one. But Sentinel's strength overwhelms him. Just as Sentinel prepares to finish him, Orion and the others reach the broadcast station with Arachnid defeated. Using her memories, the group reveals the truth of Sentinel's betrayal to the entire city. With his treachery revealed, Sentinel is left broken. The voices of the city roar against him, and for the first time, the mighty Prime feels powerless. D-16 seizes the moment, his fury erupting in a relentless assault that leaves Sentinel beaten at his feet. Raising his cannon, D-16 prepares to fulfill his vow. Orion rushes in and stops him. The two friends begin to argue. Orion insists that the rebuilding of Cybertron cannot begin with an execution, but D-16 shoves him away. As his cannon charges for the killing blow, Orion leaps again, placing himself between Sentinel and the blast, which takes his entire arm off. Everyone freezes in shock. D-16, realizing what he has just done, rushes to Orion's side and holds his fallen friend. For a fleeting moment, regret flashes across his face. He questions why Orion chose to save a traitor like Sentinel, but his sorrow quickly twists into rage. His optics glow red as he lets Orion slip from his grasp. Consumed by fury, D-16 tears Sentinel apart. From the wreckage, he claims Megatronus Prime's cog and forges it into himself. Rising taller and stronger, he proclaims a new order. From this moment forward, he is no longer D16. He is Megatron, the new leader of Cybertron. Megatron vows to wipe away the old order and carve a new empire under his rule. Yet, deep in the heart of the planet, the spirits of the ancient primes gather, drawn to Orion's actions. They see in him the spark of hope that Sentinel betrayed and Megatron abandoned. Chosen for his sacrifice, Primus bestows upon him the matrix of leadership. And with this, he rises stronger than ever, not as Orion Pax, but as Optimus Prime. With renewed strength and purpose, he rises to confront his former friend who has become his greatest enemy. The clash between the two titans ensues. Blow after blow, they fight as equals. But where Megatron fights with rage, Optimus fights with hope. In the end, the spirit of the Primes lifts Optimus above his rival. Choosing mercy, he exiles Megatron and his followers. With peace returning, Optimus uses the Matrix to restore cogs to the cogless and reignites the rivers of energon that feed Cybertron's heart. His followers gather under a new name, the Autobots. Standing before all of Cybertron, he delivers a warning to the Quintessons. Stay away from Cybertron.